Hello and welcome. This is the 4-minute morning for today, Crypto Day, TGIF, Friday, 4th day of May 2018. My name is Derek. Welcome. Everything like always within your own risk, own reward. We'll take a look at Bitcoin from the shortest of terms, not the shortest, but the shortest to the longest term. Multiple different time frames starting within the 15-minute time frame. The data spans about 1.25 days, and we can see that it had a very nice rally yesterday, starting from 7:30 a.m., having the peak at the one at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and then again at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It is still yet to get above this high. Basically 4 times hit resistance at around 97.20, with of course the first, the second pierce above. This one here at around 4:30 this morning, and the one right now that it's barely pulling back to within this 18 average. Price action did manage to come to this line and retrace back relatively quickly. Buyers coming in. Very hard to short this market, in my opinion. Looking at this on the single-hour time frame, you can put a resistance line. I'm not going to draw it, but the monks 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so 7 hits to start the month of May. Breaks that resistance line. We can see how well it's now been correcting within this 18 average. So an ascending triangle, and of course this level at 9,700. When we take a look at it very shortly soon on the daily time frame, is relatively big. This is the sideways action on the 3-hour time frame, which spans back to mid-April. So the run starting April 17th through April 25th has managed to correct this baby sideways. It is at very much at the upper area of the April 24th high. But with price action as it stands, as it has left this 18 average on May the 3rd, has done very well in consolidating above the 18 average of highs. You can see more towards an ascending triangle with resistance at around a big level. I'll show you soon in the 97. And then, of course, many of the last several periods with higher lows. Because this brings us now to the daily, which now spans closer to a half of a year. And the 2017 highs at around 20,000 and the lows in early February at 6,000 pierced a little above and stabilized in April at around 66, 67. Amongst this, and it's a 9,500 number really, but 9,700 being resistance. We see yesterday 18 average, it's leaving the 18 of highs. So it's leaving the correctionary phase. It hasn't gotten above that key number that I've talked about, which is really, it's barely under 10,000, but I'd like to say barely over 10. As a clear breakout amongst the resistance from April. But a very good, a bullish pattern to say the least. And one of the things I'd be looking for is just something like this, the breakout of this correctionary phase. Because after the green candle up, it had an instant red candle down, giving back all of its gains from that day. Thus, to correct on an accumulation of about a week and a half amongst this 18 average. So it's saying that the correctionary time is over. That's at least what the statement to me is being told. Within the weekly, or excuse me, the 3-day chart and a new set of Fibonacci numbers, I see from this high to this low, which came down, of course, at a key line, that the 18 average, it got above it barely on April the 19th session. So this is now the 5th period in which it's been consolidating, really the 3rd from the 2 moves higher on from this candle and then the one in here. So the situation is at a very interesting point, because if it breaks above this resistance, you're first going to be testing this high in here, and of course that 12,000 or so Fibonacci level. But it will also mean that the 18 average will start to have a decent size increase. Thus, early stages of what the notification from the market in reversal of trend would be telling us. And that would create very interesting possible opportunities, both in this crossing US dollar with Bitcoin, or any fiat currency with Bitcoin, and that, of course, with the alternate coins will have wild reactions to follow as such. And when we finish this off within a 10-day time frame, or a week and a half per chart, and this is the entirety on the Bitstamp movement Fibonacci from this low at around 170 and this high at 20,000. 23.6 down at 62.45 shown, as well as the 38.2 and 61.8% down moves. Okay. Where do we stand in this? It's already came down to correctionary phase on January the 11th. This is like now 12, 13 periods within this move. After breaking down below the 18 average, after it being on like its 7th or 8th turn in here, it had an interesting 10-day period where it never really moved much at all. And then a green candle up to the 18 lows, and it has followed it through. So again, going further, if this is able to make it to previous high, that 12,000 level, it will be testing within the 18 average of highs and probably a pierce above it. And overall, getting above what the 18 average of highs used to be at area, like around 13.4, all this time frame will be stating is that since this bull market had begun, every single correction that it ever had was all very small, very tiny in either time or price. This one had a bit more price, a bit more time than all the rest, but resumption time, and when you have an amazing correction and then follow through to bull market, the gains that can follow through after that can be magnificent, but it still really has to get above about 13,200 to 13,700 area for me to say that this baby is ready to go on the most longest of term time frames. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.